A clean bike is a fast bike, right? Well, that's not just some cool phrase, but it's actually very, very true. Now, so all of you who regularly or just at all times neglect maintaining, cleaning, lubing and whatnot your bicycle, it will slap back in the future. We had loads of clients in the past and even nowadays who go like, oh, what? I need to swap out my whole transmission again? If your bike makes some noise, if you have a regular ticking or anything like that, it's probably because it is not well enough maintained. We didn't go in details enough. There's really no secret to it. Just be sure that you have it well maintained, well lubed. And I'll show you in a bit what steps I take for our clients and for myself in order to have a smoothly running and silent bike that will last you really, really long, so you can have fun on the bike for a longer time. First of all, I like to keep my transmission clean as possible for as long as possible. So chain rings, cassettes, pulley wheels and the chain always ultra clean at any times, if you can, of course. You don't need to be cleaning them at every hour after every single ride, but if you can, it will be better, of course. So for instance, I just cleaned my cassette and pulley wheels in an ultrasonic bath so that we can get really, really clean results, because as I said, it is really in the details. Let me show you, for instance, how a pulley wheel is composed. Normally we have, of course, the pulley wheel right here. Then we have normally a cylindrical little piece like this that will go in the pulley wheel. And if you tighten it, it will then, of course, allow it to spin. Sometimes also we have real bearings in there that allow for the pulley wheel to spin. Then we have the caps and you have a nicely spinning pulley wheel. Of course, it needs to be lubricated. We'll be doing that in a bit. And then we have the screw that puts the plate together with the pulley wheels between. And just for demonstration, you see how much friction there is at all times. It has sanded the anodized part clean off. There you see where the friction takes place, and over time how much material it can actually shave off. So when I talk about parts wearing down, it is of course friction that is at its work. And it takes place at really a lot of places on your bicycle. Of course, in the bottom bracket, the pedals, and then of course the whole transmission. So chain rings, chain that goes on it, metal on metal. We have ceramic on metal. We have titanium on metal. There's a whole lot of friction on the bicycle, and every moving part needs to be taken care of regularly, or it will just wear down in an accelerated manner. And what is really quite difficult to grasp for some people is that the friction that will do the most is actually most of the time like the most hidden friction. For instance, in a chain, you don't really see the wearing. Also in those pulley wheels right here, you don't really see it wearing down. It's only when you open them up that you can see what damage actually has been caused. And that's why I often use an ultrasonic cleaner, so it can get anywhere. The dirt can be removed anywhere with those ultra vibrations. So that's a really great thing. But in general, just keep all of your moving parts clean all the time, so you won't have any major worries. I, for instance, had a chain now for over 11,000 kilometers. and it just now showed some signs of wear, and I replaced it just to be sure, because those cassettes with titanium parts are actually quite expensive. So that's what a clean transmission looks like. We have clean pulley wheels, a clean cassette, and the chain rings also, of course. What I can really recommend is waxing your chain, because then if you clean your transmission, you will see that, for instance, the chain rings will be much easier to clean in terms of cleaning like solution that you, cleaning liquid that you need. You won't need any kind of strong degreaser. You can basically just clean it with water and a good quality rag or microfiber towel, and you will have really clean results. Same goes with the frame. You won't have any slimy, dirty, oily chain stays. So the cleaning part will be much easier. With waxing your chain, of course, you may have some more initial work when you need to degrease your old chain, or the brand new chain, of course. But in the long run, we have seen some amazing results, and it's always worth it. So this right here is the waxed chain now. I didn't really clean it now because there was no real need for it. And with waxed chains, it's a bit more special, the cleaning process, because once you use any kind of degreaser, of course, which I don't recommend, all the advantages of the wax are basically swept away. What I recommend is just take a microfiber towel or a rag and wipe off the excess dirt. Then check if the chain feels dry and apply some new wax, of course, if that's the case, or just keep it running. In any case, guys, I can't stress this enough. Maintain your bicycle, clean your bicycle. Of course, some dirt on the frame won't be really that bad. It won't make you slower, but a well-maintained bike is just a better running bike, and in the end, of course, also a faster bike. Just be sure to have all the moving parts well maintained at all times if possible. That goes for wheels as well, especially for your headset. And as I said, the transmission is really important for a bicycle, because there's a lot of friction taking place in the transmission, and you will feel true differences if you maintain it well. If you have any more questions about maintenance of how I maintain my bikes, just leave the questions in the comment section below, and I'll try to answer them as quickly as possible, and I'll see you in the next one.